Okay, so this is week 5, Wednesday, Math 7, quarter 3. And we're going to graph equations and standards. So there are two different forms. The first one is y-intercept form, and you need to write this down in your notebook, which is y equals mx plus b. The second form is standard form. You don't have this one, which is ax plus by equals c. Whose paper is that? So this is what you use. There are two ways to graph a line. Okay, well, actually, technically it's not two, it's 3 ways. First way is y-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Remember with this form, you start with b, right? And your slope is either up or down, and it's over to the right. Do you remember that? Okay, that's the first way. Standard form is what you have here. Can you see how x and y are on the left side? Do you see that? Okay. So for you to do this, this is what you do. You got to find the x-intercept. What the x-intercept is where the graph crosses on the x-axis. So in this case, you have a number for x, but the y value is 0. You also need to find the y-intercept. So for the x-intercept, you basically just cover the y. And then you solve for x. Do you see that? Now, for the y-intercept, you cover the x, you do the opposite. And the reason for that is because with the y-intercept, it is where the graph hits the y-axis. You cover the x, and you solve for y. And it's always 0 for x, and there's a good number for y. Does that make sense? Okay, now the third one, which we kind of did yesterday. Third one is a table of x, y value, like that. X, y. And then you have 4 points for 4 coordinates. Write this down. And then you basically plot the 4 points, and then you connect the dots and you have 1. Does that make sense? So those are the 3 ways. Yesterday we practiced with the first way, which is y-intercept form. Today you're gonna practice with the standard form. And believe it or not, you actually have done this before. Probably don't remember. You've done it before. Okay. So 6th way you've done this. I remember going with this with you. All right, so let's go ahead and go over this. So remember, x plus y equals 8. This is standard form, right? So remember, you got to find the x-intercept and also the y-intercept, correct? To find the x-intercept, what do you cover? Look at your notes, you just wrote down. For the x-intercept, what do you? Just cover it with your fingers. Just cover it. And what is x equal to?
X is equal to
8. And when you cover the y, you know y equals 0. So your first point is 8, 0. Do you see that? I don't know. It's a good thing you work that down because I just did later, but that's okay. So the first one, remember, you're going to find the x-intercept. Y is 0 because you cover it, correct? And you determine x equals 8. So your first point is 8, 0. That's your first point. Do you see that? Well, if I get another point, then you can have 2 points and I have a lot, right? So then to find the y-intercept, you know that you cover the x, you make x equal 0, right? What does y equal? So then your point is grab your color pencil. Graph. When I graph this, I have 8. And this is horrible because I don't think our graph goes all the way to 8, does it? 6, 7, 8. So we'll put a dot right there. because that's 8, 0, and then 0, 8. And it needs to be this way. How did you get that positive slope? Did she show you how to do that? Or do you need to make it up somehow?
We're continuing it tomorrow.
Okay, all right. But do you see that?
Yeah.
Now, I know you're like, okay, but is it a positive slope or a negative slope here? It's negative, right? And that makes sense because here's the thing. If I change this to y equals mx plus b, you will have to subtract the x on both sides, right? So y equals negative x plus 8. Can you also graph this way? Yeah, because this is the first way of graphing, right? Because your b is positive 8 and your m is negative 1 over 1. And because of a negative slope, you know you graph it correctly because the purple line is a negative slope. You see that? The different ways of graphing. You got to be able to do it back and forth, okay? Okay, number 2. I'm going to go over one more for you, and then I'm going to have you try it on your own. Let's find the x-intercept. When you're finding the x-intercept, what do we make y? Not nothing, 0. And so you take your pencil or your finger, just cover the whole thing. Just cover it. Do you see how I just cover that? Now solve for x. 2x equals 12. What does x equal to? No, 2x equals 12. What does x equal to?
Oh.
Yeah, you have to solve it, right? What's your first point?
My first.
Yeah, she needs to extend this because this is not enough space. Okay, next one. We define the y-intercept, right? To find the y-intercept, what do we make x? At 0. So then what we do is if you put like cross it out, you erase it, and you just cross that out. Do you see that? Just cover it out. 3y equals 12. What does y equal to? Don't just shout out the answer. Think about it, please. Okay, what's your next point? We need to grab these 2 points, right? So these 2 points, first one's 6, 0, so that's all the way over here. You see that? Other one's 0, 4. This one's right here, and that's also a negative slope, correct? That's your line. So make sure you use a ruler because the way it looks matters. Take some pride in it, and make sure you have arrows. You need to have arrows. Do you understand? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So then once you have this right here, you're like, okay, well, it's also a negative. Is this going to be a negative? Think about it. If I move the slope over this way, wouldn't that be a 3y equals a negative 2x plus 12? Do you see that? Okay, so it checks out. It is a negative slope, right? Okay, I'm going to go over one more with you, and then I'm going to have you try this on your own. Which one do you want to go over? You pick.
6.
Okay, for number 6. For number 6, we're going to find the x-intercept, right? So what do I make y? Okay, so you just cross it out. You see the negative 4y, cross it out. What does x equal to? I don't even know how you graph this because there's no space. So the first point is, okay, that sounds good. Next one, you're going to do the y-intercept, right? What does x equal to? Okay, so then let's just go ahead and re-erase this. Erase it. Cross out the x. Don't forget the negative. Negative 4y equals 16. So what's y? Good. What is going on here? So then your second point is what? So graph those 2 points. Make sure you grab a color pencil. Do it nicely. So with this one, since this is 4, 5, 16 is going to be all the way here. You're going to have to just draw it off. And then 0, negative 4. I don't even know why the heck she bothered with this. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now this is a positive slope. Do you see that? which makes sense because if I move the x over here, it becomes a negative x, right? So negative 4y equals negative x plus 16. But when you divide it by the negative 4 on everything, do you see how this negative and this negative make it a positive slope now? Do you see that? Then this is correct. It's a positive slope moving up the hill, right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's go over one more. You sure you want to go number 7, 8, or 9?
9.
Number 9. Okay. So let's find x-intercept. What's y?
My y is 0.
Good. Now you take your pencil, you just cross it out. So then you write down what's left. Negative 10x equals 60. What does x equal to?
Negative 6.
Good. So what's your first point? Good. Then we're going to go ahead and find the y-intercept. What is your x value for the y-intercept? So then you take your pencil, you erase it back again, and then cross out the x value, okay? 15y equals 60. What does y equal to? Okay, you can fit 15 and 15 and 32 times. 30 goes into 60 times, so 2 times 2 is 4. You see that? Okay, so those are your 2 points. So let's go ahead and plot them. Let's start at negative 6, 0, so you just go up the grid a little bit, and then 0 up to 4, and then connector dot, and you need to have your arrows popping. It's saying that this is a line, and the arrows means that it's continuous. It's not a segment, it's continuous. So we're gonna keep going. And this one here is a positive slope, right? So let's check to make sure. If I move that x over to the right side, I get a positive 10x plus 60, and guess what? 10 divided by 15 is still a positive. You see that? So it checks out, okay? Which one would I go over, buddy? Did you do all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to see the long lines with the arrow, straight lines. So use a ruler, please. And if that's not right, you need to erase that. Okay? Okay, let's go over number 3. For number 3, we're going to find the x-intercept. So y equals 0. 6x equals 12. X equals 2. So your first one is 2, 0. Y-intercept. What's your y-intercept? Perfect. So it's 0, 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have 2, 0, and then 0, 3. So it should be this line like this, correct? Is that what you have? Right. Okay, now let's take a look at number 4. With number 4, x-intercept, what was your answer? Not 2. It's negative 2. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. What was your y-intercept? No, you need to make sure it's x, y. You're messing it up. X, y. That matters. Not as sorry you will be if you get the wrong the test. Then you did all that work for nothing. Make the correction for number 4. Did you make the corrections?
Negative 2.
It is negative 2. My pen stopped working. There we go. The dot right there was supposed to indicate negative. Okay, let's take a look over here. All right, so the next one is x-intercept. What's your x-intercept? Try again. X-intercept is y is 0. Oh, -2. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought. What's your y-intercept?
0, 0,
Try again.
0.
Okay. So -2 zeros right there. 0 and 5 is up here, so it should be like this. Right? Okay. And let's go into number 7. Is that a -18 right here? Is that what it is?
That's it.
Is that -18 for number 7 equals -18?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. I just want to check. All right, so let's find the x-intercept. What's the y x-intercept? Did you do the work?
It's the intercept is 6.
0?
0.
6, 0. Yeah, you need to mark that and label it. I don't understand what you're doing. Where did you show your work on this? Where's the work? Okay, then you need to label how I'm labeling. I want you to label exactly how I'm labeling. Let's not try to be, lazy with our work because quite frankly, this is not working out for you. If I ask you for the answer and you already did the work, make sure you're able to tell me what the answer is. This is laziness, and I don't like that. Do you understand me? This is not how you do well in school. So if I your mom is helping you with this and she's going through all of this, showing all this work for you, you need to do the same. Do you understand me? And I want these lines to be straight. So don't be lazy. Use a freaking ruler. Take pride in your work. This is garbage. Do better. Grab your ruler. Sorry to be tough on you, but this is garbage. You're being lazy and I'm wasting my time, using my time that I don't have to do this with you to help you with this. So this is extremely disrespectful on your part. Do you understand me? Do better. What's your y-intercept?
0 and 2.
Number 8. I want you to redo it. I want you to go ahead and write it down correctly. What's your x-intercept? What's your y-intercept? All right, so let's go and take a look at this. We are done with this part, correct? Yes? On what? Whose laptop? He's not allowed to have that. So this is week 5, Wednesday, Quarter 3, Math 7, part 2. All right, so before they gave you the equation in standard form and you had to go and graph it, right?
Yeah.
Now they give you the graph and you just have to find the x and y intercept, right? Now look at the graph. Where does the graph hit the x-axis? Point to it. Put a dot on it. Label it. Is that the x-intercept or y-intercept? X-intercept, because that's where it's hitting the x-axis, right? And the y is 0 when x is -2, right? Right? That's how we set it up before. When we find the x-axis, you always cover the y and you make it 0, right? What are you talking about? Oh, it's a positive 2. Yeah, I don't know why the hell. No, that's good. I'm glad you got it. All right, now put a dot. Did you label it? I want you to freaking label it. If I label it, you better be labeling it too. Don't be lazy about that. That's extremely disrespectful when I have to do that and you're not doing it.
I labeled it on the side.
Okay, so this one is going to be a -2 or 0, -2. So this is when x equals 0 and y equals -2. All right, let's go on to the next one. Where is the x-intercept? Great, so label it. Label and write it down on the side. You should put x-intercept 2, 0, y-intercept 0, 2. All right. This is going to be the same thing. Even though this is not written in y-intercept form, it's the same thing. You understand? Or it's not written in standard form. So this is not in standard form, right? Which is ax plus by. So x and y is on the left side equals c, okay? But you do exactly the same thing. You still, for the x-intercept, y is 0. So for x, right? For the y-intercept, x equals 0. Solve for y, right? So x-intercept. What's y? 0, right? Cross it out. So you put 0 equals 7x minus 14 and then solve for x. Solve for x, right? That's what you do. What's your x?
Two.
2, 0, right? What number are we on? We're still on the first one. All right, so you got the x-intercept, y-intercept. You go ahead and set x equals 0. Cross that out. And then what do? Solve for y, correct? So what is it? What's your answer? Okay, so for number 2, if you're, what is that? I don't know. Anyways, if you're looking for the x-intercept, y is 0, right? Cross that out. You put 0 right there equals x plus 8. What's your x?
My x is negative four. X is negative 8.
Okay, and then comma, okay. Y-intercept, remember your X is equal to 0. So you go back over and cross that out. Yep. So then Y equals 4, which is going to be a 0, 4, and that's your Y-intercept. Okay. All right. X-intercept, what's your answer for number 3? X-intercept is when Y equals 0.
My answer for X is negative 3.
Good. What's your Y-intercept? X is 0.
0, 9.
Yeah, eventually you'll do enough that you'll just be able to do in your head. Are you done with number 4 yet or not yet? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's
All right, so let's go ahead and go into number 4. So we're gonna look for the X-intercept, which means Y is 0. So what's your answer?
negative 2.
Okay. Y-intercept, what's your answer? So you cross out the X, Y is 10 over 6, which is 5 over 3, right? 5/3, right? Or you could do 1 and 2/3. Although if you do 1 and decimal point, 1 and 2/3, this one you know it's 1 point is a 6/6. Is that what it is? Okay. All right. X-intercept for number 5. What is it? Good.
I haven't.
What's the Y-intercept?
I haven't finished with that, but it's.
Or hurry up, please. All right, so what is your X-intercept for number 6?
0, negative 5/8.
For the X-intercept?
No, for the X-intercept, it's 2 and 0.
Okay, that's what I asked you. Start with the X-intercept. What's the Y-intercept? What's the Y-intercept? X is 0, so it is negative 8 over 5. Not 5/8, 8 over 5. Because you're dividing by 5. How are you getting this wrong? Okay, number 7, what's the X-intercept?
5 and 0.
So Y is 0. 15, so it's 5 and 0. And what's the Y-intercept?
Negative.
So X is 0. X is 0, negative 3. Okay, last one. What is your X-intercept?
7 half.
Y is
0.
7 over 2, 3.5. And then Y-intercept is? 0 is X, negative 7.
But it's.
If you cross out this, Y equals negative 7. Okay, that concludes everything for this.
Thank you.
No, not yet. Hold on.